Hey people, so back for another video which will not be edited at all, no matter what comes out of here, referring to visual media, no matter how necessary it is. We will not be editing anything. We will just be talking up a storm, which is called a vlog. That is not what I'm supposed to be doing. That is not who I am, but it's been necessitated. Again, yes, by the same person as the last one, which is probably the last video on my page, right? The title, which is what I think it is, probably tells you what you are here for, the reason why it's publicly relevant. We need more light in here. I'm not prepared for this, okay? I should not be doing this at all. Hold on, let me make sure this is shut. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm supposed to be doing? There is a project on my table right now. I'm going to tell you about it. It's called, I didn't write down the title, I just know. It's something along the lines of David Vega opens an OnlyFans business plan as a person or something like that. I came up with it before. I have to rethink it. It fit just the 100 characters just right. David's trying to make a business proposition on a OnlyFans type thing. Not signing up for the OnlyFans site, those who know who it is. I'm not going to tell. My parents didn't know what that was. That makes sense, but young people should know what that is. Well, not should, but would know what that is. Research it on your own. I'm not adding mixed media just because it came out of here. I'm not literally signing up for that. It's a lot like the male Karen thing. It's not literally what I am or intend to be, right? That was past, actually. It's a translation in their David Vega way, which means as a person, not physical. I know, novel concept these young people don't get. As a person, ooh, so foreign. So, I'm trying, because we have to justify it, since we're bringing back raw footage from M-Town, most people don't know what that is. M-Town, we have raw footage. Any woman can pay to say, hey, bond with me for a while, get enough footage, put me in one of your videos for a goddess, and pay for that and see what it's like as a person to be honored, right? The same thing that David intends to do for wife someday. It's like temporary FS1. That's the idea. I should not be telling you this. You should be having to watch the video that's on my table. But you know why I can't finish it? Because I keep getting blasted by bothers. The number one bother is Samantha still trying to hit me up for money, even though she knows I was going to report her. We're having that on hold for a financial fraud scheme. Same thing as romance scam, but in person, coworker. I'm trying to hold. I'm shooting a video. I'm sorry. Do you have to do something? I'm sorry. I have to do. Put it elsewhere, please. Stay away. Leave it alone. God. I left my room open with my light on. Mom went in there, took a plate of pizza stuff that I did not have time to put to the kitchen because I had to go and do this. I can't manage my daily life with all these bothers, with people derailing my plans. Because I can't cover everything. Make sure everything's just arranged right. Don't give people reason to come in the kitchen and interrupt their live recording. I can't take care of everything. Holy fuck, stop doing this to me, people. If you are law enforcement and you don't recognize that this is an actual scam and this guy's the victim, because, let me explain this very clearly. Look up, I'm not going to edit this. I'm sure it made a past project. You're just going to have to look it up yourself. Matthew 25, verses 31 to 46. That's the most important verse in the Bible. That is the standard by which we are all going to be judged, regardless of whether we believe in that particular. It doesn't work like that. I don't consult the Bible. I know I appear so. No, I don't consult the Bible before I decide to act. I act in accordance with what good person logic says, to my best of my ability to analyze situations, and then I look afterwards and I say, oh, it just happens to be in there. That's a consistent one. It involves helping people and why it's important to help people when you're in a unique position. Not the same as like a beggar on the street, right, which you can run into by chance and there's a million of them out there. No, when you are in a unique position, as I am, to help a unique person like Samantha, given what she's like as a person, that I know that people don't, because people like to judge by ignorance and whatever they're like, not what the person's like. when you are in a unique position and you're the only one who can help someone both short-term and long-term, mostly long-term though, you have to help them. You can't turn them away, and any powers that be who try to get you, not only is it wrong morally, but it violates our right to religious freedom, which is in the Constitution. So as of now, we're not going to put any pressure on David to block someone everywhere, turn them away. No. It doesn't matter whether it's long in the past or just now. What we're going to do is we're going to try to help her to the extent that it's legal and reasonable, no matter what she comes at me like, right? Because we know she's been pressuring me to do what would only be illegal or impossible things to try to get her help. When she disabled me, I'll cover that. But when there's damage, we're not editing this. You just saw an interruption that because of what she did, I didn't have time to cover everything I need to cover before I come here, not dressed in what I want on camera and throw down with an issue. Okay? So, we're going to show the whole world the hypothetical, because if we don't say that, the system will pick on that and think people are in trouble, the hypothetical blood that someone like Samantha is causing, whether she intends to or not, right? She hates being called a scam. All the online people hate being called a scam, so that's nothing new. I don't believe she's a scam, but again, if you're causing this much damage and you're taking advantage of a person who has right to give to you, and that cannot be abridged because it's his religious freedom right, and a good person thing, regardless, and he needs to for his own credibility and reputation, especially after what she did, you're taking advantage of good person traits. And that's in addition to the romantic stuff. We're not even talking about the romantic stuff. You're acting like a scammer. We're going to show the damage when it's necessitated. It is now necessitated. Before we get to what this is supposed to be about, let's add one more thing, okay? I'm going to show you another form of damage. And I'm not going to say who this is for. The parties who know this is for know who they are. My camera, when I brought it down here, I was holding this in the same hand. You know what this is? This is one of my favorite energy drinks. I mean, aside from Neurosonic and Vive 100. This would be third place, I would say. Where the fuck is the company logo? That's Uptime. We're get in there. Why is this camera always blurry? It's a struggle. That's Uptime. You see this cap? I drank some of it. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't see how much I drank. It's going to spill in the cat if I try to show you. When you put this cap on, okay, now it fit. That happened to perfectly fit. But when you're trying to rush to get emergency production done, you know what happens? You hold the camera. You can't see the camera, and I don't have a mirror. Again, I did not prepare with a portable mirror. The camera you hold in one hand. You hold the Uptime in the same hand. And if this cap is not screwed on right, like let's do it like this. You see this? You see? Hold on. There's a reason I'm doing this. I just can't say it because they don't want me to mention them or the company. This cap is not screwed on right, but that's what could happen. That's hypothetically what could happen if you're on a job, and whether you're in the work area or at break time, that could happen with the cap thing. See, that cap is not screwed on right? It's kind of loose, right? Okay, that's how it was screwed on when I brought the camera and this down here in one hand. Same hand. You know what happened when I was in the kitchen? There was some stuff dripping out on the camera. Now, it wasn't over some buttons, except for what button is this? Again, you can't see any of this because I have not had time to prepare. I do not have time to get a mirror or get a backup cam. There's not even the record start stop, but that's not for the camera record. That's some other record. That must be for DVN or some shit. I never use that. So it's an alternate record button that was affected, which I never use, and then like the lens adjustment for focus or something. It didn't spill on a vital part of the camera, but I saw some drips on the kitchen floor. I looked, oh my god, it was spilling on the camera. So because this cap does not screw in all the time, especially when you're in a rush going blabbity 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 because you're trying to get a job done, you will get shit like this happening. You know what solves this? Let me show you what solved this. This kind of bottle, check it out. See that? Yeah. This kind of bottle, right? With the cap like this, right? Let me show you something. This is the cap. This is the lid. Like I said in previous video, by the way, if I'm looking off center, it's because the viewfinder's there. I could look at the lens, but I won't see how I center on camera. That's why I'm looking off center. Just to let you know. This cap, because of the way it's designed, this place to anchor it in, no matter how you do this, it will always go in. It will always go in just right. Because it's designed that way. It's a brilliantly designed bottle. Now, if something like this is on the bottle, the answer is you cover it up with something more, maybe their company logo, right? Something more, neutral, non-human being depicting. That's what we call a solution to a practical problem that still allows you to take the advantage of this and not have to go around town looking for a similar bottle with a similar cap that operates the same way and have to worry if you're going to find the exact same thing. You'll be searching forever. You know what that does if you have to search forever around town, maybe Google a bunch of places, do a wild goose chase for that? That takes away from your job, doesn't it? It makes you less able to attend your job. And it makes you less able to show up. And if you don't show up, you probably get fired legitimately. Yeah. And if you get fired legitimately, EDD doesn't pay you because it's your fault. So it's a good thing to use this cap that you already have and cover anything that, might be considered a problem and have that solution respected. This is not something you want to derail your day for when you care about your job a lot. I think it's a safe bet to say that anyone who forces you to find another bottle with the same cap advantage, given what this one just did almost to ruin my camera that's responsible for me recording right now and dealing with a serious issue, I'm pretty sure the answer between this and this is to stick with this, not go on a wild goose chase to find a replacement, and just cover up the problem. Yes, that's reasonable. If you put that down, that's putting down passion. The passion to have the same benefit as this, not have this happen, and prevent policy violations on a job, theoretically. Theoretically. Okay? Okay. Sorry, not everyone's going to understand that, okay? I swear to God. Ooh. Censorship is you're going to see in the project I'm working on how bad censorship is. It's a very bad thing. Because we have to do shady shit like that. And I'm gonna pour this in the bottle. I'm not joking either. I actually love this bottle design. Yeah, but I tell you what, why don't we do this? Somebody watching this video, now that you know the bottle problem, right, why don't you set a timer? Start the timer, and from complete scratch, you find another bottle with the same design, same advantage. When you find it, get it to me and say, hey, will this work? And I approve it. Stop the timer. Tell me how long it took. Because however long it takes, that's how much I would have been subtracted time from a job. Off the job. Sleep, preparation, travel, whatever goes into a certain job, that's how much it would have inconvenienced me. Go ahead. Anybody watching this, find a bottle without depictions of people on it that does the same advantage. Tell me how long it takes you. Let's see that. Maybe I'll get it to the ethics line of a certain job that needs to reopen that shit. Okay. So, we understand that David knows what he's talking about, right? That when he says you don't ever, this is from the last video, you don't fire for attacks on for something involving work ethic, passion, charity, or agency. Any of those things goes against the goals of your company and serving your customer. That's not a joke. I can back that up with evidence and actual events that happen. Okay? Okay. So, now here's what we're here to talk about. The title of this video should be, this is what it's like when a Project-Mundo shoots horse tranquilizer into your ass and you have to stop everything you're doing or it ruins stuff or something. Samantha has a problem, okay? I said this in other videos about how the Project-Mundo type, it doesn't matter whether we're dealing with a rich or poor Project-Mundo. One of those two I've been through already, right? Samantha is just like that. I know from past that when a Project-Mundo does something to hold you to an evil standard, right? When she wants you to do something like of love or work, providing for her, whatever the hell the thing, whatever good that you both agree on, that you do for her. And then she does something that's mentally damaging for whatever reason, and it interjects it interjects a wrongful standard of love. When you're trying to follow the right standard that you know better because you're 40 and you've been through unique stuff, she's 23 and been surrounded by superficial who see her as a looker and nothing else, all right? So when they mess with you mentally while you're trying to do good stuff for them, that's what we call shooting horse tranquilizer in your ass. In the previous video, I said it's like me doing a 60-mile bike ride, right? And being interrupted by her saying something that's a harmful standard of love that's not what I'm trying to do for her. And it's like being at a light and imagine somebody comes up to you while you're waiting at the light and shoots your leg with horse tranquilizer, right? In the past, with her predecessor, I worked through that shit. What happened over time is lots of years got wasted and my life almost got destroyed. That's why I'm only able to get the kind of jobs that I met Samantha at, which is responsible for me meeting Samantha and realizing that, oh, the young people need to know David's person knowledge no matter what certain systems thought of it, because they can approve based on that. Yeah, that's why we're here today. So, Samantha, this is great. I have to admit, there's a little guy inside that's jumping for joy that he can use this knowledge now. Samantha shares that in common. She doesn't understand why David doesn't work through her stupid ass standards, okay? Why David will literally resign from a job. Actually, it was leave. It was legal leave to make legal reports, actually. I tried to resign. I said I wanted to resign, but I couldn't figure out the process. So I'm on leave for 2 weeks, okay? Here's the thing. Let's examine how that played out before I get into the text I'm going to show. By the way, Samantha, you are watching this because you don't read past text. If you cause too much a reaction from me, and this is why we're doing this, I said read past text. I will evaluate my ability to help you and how realistically it can be done once you read what you did wrong and understand it, and we're not going to do that again, okay? Because she doesn't do that, we're on video. It's for her, and also it's a socially relevant issue, okay? I started a new job, particularly for her, in the project I'm working on the table. Oh, yeah, that's on the table. I should be doing that right now. In the project, I showed the life plans we made together, sort of. Not all of them, but enough to get the sense that we are serious. Let's put it this way. We're serious enough to talk intimately and have that be respected as a right on both of our ends. We are. We made some very serious life plans, right? And I took this job for her. She was touched by that, but that's not all there is to it. When I work at that job, you can't mentally fuck me, okay? The elite, I said this in video too, I'm repeating shit. I'm not going to recycle shit, we're not editing this. The elite performers that do like I do, okay? The people who go to a job and while everyone else is ho-humming it, you know, doing the bare minimum needed to get paid and not fired, some of them talking to their friends, right? It happens on every type of job like this. It depends how much leeway you have, and they don't notice. David is gunning it, and on his first day, he had a classic story he still doesn't want to tell because he still wants to work there, maybe, right? David is going into... Hold on. Okay. David is showing up at a job where he is paid the same rate as the people who are ho-humming it, and he's going into as close to full turbo mode as he can without Samantha actually being there because he knows he's doing it for Samantha. On my first day, the last orientation day, I worked 60% of my max capacity. Normal at FedEx was 65. Most people at FedEx get 55 my capacity max and don't go above ever, okay? At the job, when I showed up to the job, I don't want to say how low people were because if people from that job know which job I'm talking about, it's not going to make them look good. They were very low. Very low in terms of intensity. Most of them were new hires, so I don't fault them, but David came in there and he had people fooled unintentionally, thinking he'd been there forever. He was the old guy who's been working there for years. No, he's not. He's not even done with his orientation. He's already acting like he's been there for years. Holy shit. So, and then the next day, the actual first, wait, hold on. Yeah, the first day. That was the last day of orientation. I was 60%. The first day, there's a reason that's in quotes, the classic performance, I made 85%. That's as much as I make when I have had music at FedEx, right? We had to manipulate that so that when Samantha was not around and Ruben was, knowing that he was always around when Samantha was around and saw me in full turbo, right? We had to try to manipulate it so he doesn't find out and wonder why I'm letting down, right? I had to confess to him eventually what was going on. But dude, like, we got up to 85 max with music, never higher. Only Samantha got jacked me up to 100, her being there and trying to prove her wrong, right? So I replicated without music 85% as if there was music, just based on doing this for Samantha and honoring her and getting her a better living situation, right? That's what I did at my new job. But here's how she ruined it. I communicated with her because we're trying to get her in a good position on the fast track to a position she's used to. And I talked with people that the same day of what happened on me getting a managerial job and her getting a fast track to a more comfortable job so she's not a burden for a month and has to work her way up. That same day I was telling her about it, you know what Samantha bombed me with? We covered this last video. She said, she said something about, this is in the last video, about how she wants either me to please her or her to please me. I looked over that text, I realized it could go both ways. Either way, it's involving each each other pleasing each other, okay? It's in the last video. You could fucking see that. And then she said, oh, can I stay with my brother? And that was like the, oh no. I said, no, you can't. We had a little bickering. This was between shifts. And I told the person, first chance I get to go home when they offer time off, which I think they do most of the time, it was my double shift. Let me go. They let me go right away. I got home. I couldn't even get home to deal with our Project-Mundo ass because on the side of the road on Union City Boulevard, she bombed me with a bunch of texts that they had to be dealt with immediately, putting immediate patches on, or she's going to think David a bad person. That's how the hostage taker scammers work. The online people work the same way. She may not be intending to, but she's not letting me get home to deal. So here's the thing. You can't do that but once. Okay? If you do that one time, you better wait till your guy gets home and deals with your ass. And when he tells you how it is, you operate the way he wants, no questions asked. Otherwise, resign, quit, get rid of the job. No. We stopping and dealing with your Project-Mundo ass, and we're setting you straight because you know what happens if we don't do that based on David's real experience? His experience. It's going to destroy your life over time. You're going to be misled into thinking you can still do that job, and you can't. The elite performers need mental peace more than anything else. That means no bothers from the person in their life. You know who doesn't need mental peace? The ho-hums. The people who think that it's only about physical. The people who show up on any job and think that they only do every last thing they do because they physically have the body for it and they physically can and they have two hands and the hands go like this just like a perfect object. The feet go like this, the hands go like this, and all you are is a goddamn robot. Those people are only able to get to 55% my max at FedEx. At the new job, well, based on what I've seen, I haven't been there long, lower. Those people are limited in what they do because they are limited to physical shit and thinking of the world physically, okay? It's the same reason in love too. The reason why all your people around you, even people with money, trust me, I know, are also limited to the extent they can love you and portray you as a goddess to the world. You know why? Because they're getters. They only care about you to the extent that they get and get for themselves. Okay? Once they're done getting, they stop trying. They only try to the extent that they get something from you, right? And then they stop. And even before they try, it's a negotiation process. For them, it's like, if you do this, if I do this for you, what do you do for me? And it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's not a relationship. That's a business deal. That's a two stranger. The ho-hums think of the world in physical terms. David thinks of the world in what emotionally drives his soul, and therefore the standard is higher. You give that guy mental peace, and he can overcome the physical. Look at this body. Look at this body. This is not supposed to be my body. This is my body, overweight as it is, because I worked since fired from FedEx since March, making video projects nonstop to undo the damage that they caused, build my reputation back up, show what I'm really made of, deal with their company as it comes up, make charity videos to try to put Maria through school before she turned on me because of Samantha coming back, show my video work, new video work. Now because Samantha, we can make sense of the old video work, and we have a way of thinking about it. You'll find out in the project I'm working on. I had to work nonstop on video work, and it paid off because it's the best video work I've made in my life, multiple times over. Because of that, I have this stomach. But when I'm on the job, you wouldn't know that, because I'm still zipping around going blah, 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 and more customers get their packages per day because I work that way. I am an elite performer anywhere I go. But you know what this guy needs? He needs everything right up here. Samantha does not get this. Because she doesn't get this, she bombed me. She didn't realize what she was doing. She bombed me with that, want to stay with my brother, but he needs rent bullshit. Okay? I try to get home. She bombed me on the road. I said, nope, quit, resign, gone. Okay? So right now we're resigned. Okay? At a certain point, it got to a point where she started throwing counter accusations and stuff like that, like trying to paint me as a bad guy. And I said, oh no, we're going to, and she did a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go over it. That seriously suggested that she's not getting it. She needs mental help. She needs to be analyzed for mental evaluation. But here's the thing. The best thing, now we're talking again, as of last night, we're trying to recover this situation. We're trying, okay? We have at least until my leave is up to go back to that job without officially resigning. But here's the thing. We don't need to go back to that job, Okay, we just need to hold Samantha over so that no one forces her to pay rent while she's in transition, and neither I nor her can get enough money. And so she did something that is an example of shooting horse tranquilizer in my ass, which I'm going to show you and I'm going to analyze. Okay, I'm going to show you how she's still showing shades of sabotage, even while I'm trying to get back on track and not report her and make a big deal of the system that they're not getting this. Okay, let's show you. Okay. I'm not editing this. I'm gonna have to be very careful. I don't want to edit nothing. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at? We have to go back. Go back. Okay. Okay, so she says now she's going to stay with a family member who's not going to charge her. Great. You need to tell me that you had that. Okay, if you can't do that. Okay, if you can do that, I said I can. I'm not showing you this because it contains the job name. She says she's going to stay with a family member who won't charge her. You need to tell me that's an option, not force me to do all this to make it an option. I said if you can do that, I can get back to the job, but you can't bomb me with emergency causing me to miss work. Okay? Okay. Hold on. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you read her text. This is the shit that we're talking about right here. It's backwards on my camera. I'm just going to let you read it, and then I'm going to read after. I'm going to read what I said afterwards instead of show you. Okay, so that's her text. It says, but you need to help me. Like, seriously, I have needs. I just want to feel protected and have someone who I can ask anything for and won't even hesitate to give to me. Okay, so we agree on that in principle, but if someone hands you shit just because you ask, they don't make sure that you're on the same page and that you're giving them mental peace and everything they need to get what you want, that's a problem. Okay, because giving that to you doesn't do anything but hurt you in disguise of helping you. It doesn't teach you anything. Okay, so here's what I said. I'm going to read you, not show you. I know, but you can't. You ask things that are illegal or impossible. If I try to, because remember that lie. The manager report that Alfonso made up in her name against me, she never corrected, even though her friends held that against me all this time. That's what I'm talking about. It's, again, we're not editing, prior projects. That cost me all the money that I would have had right now. I'm going over it. $37,000 roughly paid to online girls. That's the actual romance scammers. We don't know who's real or who's not. There are 6 reasons in total, but getting the job off my back because that report was #1 reason, the first one. Not the one that set off the big war that I had to get him a lot of, as many as possible. $37,000 paid to online girls to testify that David's lovable and get the job off my back because of that report. Okay? My dad stole... I said 37. Oh, I said 37,000. I meant 36,000. 36,000 of savings because when he found out that I was paying online girls, he didn't realize that just because I used 1,000 from the savings account, it was going to be my last 1,000 to try to get 3 moves at once. He thought I was going to clear out the rest. I wasn't. After that, I was done. But he took it out anyways. According to Chase, he had a right to simply because our names were both on the contract, and they didn't realize that we made an oral agreement to make sure that he only uses that if I get in a medical emergency, which I'm incapacitated with, or a legal emergency where I need representation. Right? We had an oral agreement, but we didn't put that in contract. Okay? The bank should have forced both of us to say, hey, a dividing dispute could happen between you two if you don't put this in writing. Let's put it in writing. Okay? Innocent-minded David didn't realize how his dad could steal his savings. That's why I don't have no goddamn money, even for something like this, which I wouldn't want to use it anyways. But if me and Samantha met in person, she showed me where she's staying, she introduced me to her folks, I might say, okay, a little bit of it. We don't know. Bottom line, because of the online girls paid for never getting here, the rest of the savings was stole. David wiped out, all because of Samantha not correcting a report. Okay? So, then I'm going on. That's the backstory, not what I told her. Since fired, you have taken the majority of my paycheck left, I'm talking to Samantha, and EDD. Do you see how that worked? It's not my fault. You have to stand up for yourself against Alfonso, your friends who hate me, excel, whatever. Okay? Otherwise, people who can help you the most, like me, and teach you the best and love you if you let me, they will be crippled when you need me. Yes. Do you understand why I'm struggling to help you right now, Samantha? It's not my fault. It's FedEx's and yours. Okay? Somebody taught you horrible lies about how the world rewards good people when they don't. That's why I make videos, to expose this and show how I love and help people in spite of them trying to destroy me for being good. Okay? So, I told Samantha very clearly, it's in text, I'm not going to show it. I told Samantha very clearly, you did this. FedEx did this by, there were other parties, the legal and medical system we're not going to get into until someone forces my hand. Hopefully not, because they won't like what I have to say. The original reason, not the one that set off the war, that was medical. Original reason that I even turned to one online girl, that was Kaylin, it was one at the time before it became multiple. The original reason was because a job put me on 2 strikes with women, 2 false reports. The Damara thing we already knew was made up, but I was already guilty of moonlighting, right? So I didn't care. Samantha could have stopped this long time ago by correcting that false report, knowing it was doing harm, knowing her friends perceived me bad, but because she's a doormat, she didn't. Guess what, Samantha? The longer you went not correcting that report, the more reason I had to pay girls who never show up to testify I'm lovable because of that report and get the job off my back. You cost me all that money. You cost me the $37,000. You cost me the $36,000 that my dad stole. That's why I don't have no money right now. Okay? It's not that I can't get it. It's not I don't deserve it. It's not that I don't have the talents for it. It's that you literally took a good person and put him in the position where, because he's a good person, the same good qualities that you see in me, you will see in the video coming up if I ever get a chance to finish it, because people keep distracting me. The same good qualities that you admire me for, the world hurts me for. And because you didn't correct a false report that Alfonso did, I don't have no money for you, even though I should and deserve it. And if some talent agent looked at this, said David's got a good shit to say, he makes video projects, that's really, really talented, he ought to be in show business, get me the fuck out of here and get me into a good paying job. Maybe she'll shut up and stop acting like I'm at fault for not having money. I have the talent. It's on my page. Look at all my past videos. It's like being David is like being Michael Jordan, but grown up in Siberia. Of course, he may be the most talented basketball player ever, but if you don't blame him for not being in the NBA, you know why he's not in the NBA if he's grown up in Siberia? Because no one's looking for him. Nobody's looking for him. Everybody in Siberia around Michael Jordan, if he grew up there, is saying, go mush those puppies. Why are you playing this stupid thing called basketball? Go mush puppies. Or whatever they do in Siberia. Go monitor a nuclear facility or something, like in Goldeneye or whatever. I don't know. That's what they're doing to David, okay? It's not that I can't get money. It's that you robbed me of what I would have had, and my talents aren't being recognized. No one's looking for me in nowhere, California, land of the ho-hums, proud and enslaved, which is what y'all are in Hayward. God. You all need your own national anthem. You do. For the ho-hums, who all have these expectations that it's all about money, money, money. Just whatever we can get. Don't care about the moral implications. Don't care about scam-like behavior. You all need your own goddamn national anthem. I'm not one of you. I am not one of you. I belong in a better place, fully provided for, doing my thing, not distracting this, and doing what's on the table for a living. Fuck. Okay. Here's where she crossed the line. And this is why we're throwing down, this is what we call horse tranquilizer. Okay? Look at this. You can read that. I can't see it behind the lens. I will read it later. Okay. So it says, okay, but I just need to know you're willing to help me with money. I want a man who can baby me. Regard everything else. I don't know what that means, but okay, so 2 things there. Number 1, we are not in disagreement on either of these 2 things. She wants someone who can help her with money. I agree. She wants someone who can baby her. I agree. And I actually went further beforehand when we were making life plans to explain how I will do so in a logical fashion for her better interest, teaching her and rewarding her. I actually went further than that in detail. than just her saying baby hurt, right? So we're in agreement on that. We're not in disagreement. This is what makes an antagonist, not an enemy. If you agree on the same standard, but you're working hard to prove your version of that standard right, not their version, that's an antagonist. That's a successful one. But if you're imposing wrongful standards on someone's life, wrongful ideology, that's an enemy. You can't work with that. If a Project-Mundo turns into it, you stop in your tracks and say, nope, resigning, quitting the job, life on hold, we're going to teach your ass so you stop doing this. Then we'll resume. Okay? I learned that from our predecessor. You don't work through problems. You work through problems, your life gets destroyed. So does hers. That's how it works. So that set me off, right? It wouldn't normally, but because when she says that, you know what happens? It tells me that, number one, she doesn't understand why David doesn't have money right now. And she's calling me a bad guy or not a man because she's calling me not a man because I don't have money, which tells me that she doesn't understand what she did to cause that to happen. So, okay. So, I basically, I'm not going to go over this. I sent a lot of text, a wall of many texts. I'm just going to show you. Wait, let me make sure there's no sensitive information. Okay, this is the same thing I just went over at length. Now, if you want to pause and read that, you can. It's the same thing I went over at length, off the cuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me make sure. I'm going to show you how this devolved into... yeah. Okay, so now you get more of this. I'm going to just let you know. Here, you can pause and read this. So the reason I'm sort of screaming in text is because she doesn't understand how she caused this. Okay, this is what a scammer does. I'm sorry, Samantha. You're not intending to be so, but you're following the same patterns as a romance scam. And if the legal system is watching this, understand that this is how it works, okay? No one's handing over money because she asked. If that was the case, then you could fault me more. But because I'm struggling to make her understand things that she doesn't realize before she gets anything, that struggle entitles me to say I'm the victim. She's still trying to scam me. She may not be intending it, but you know what it means when you're doing a crime and not intending so? It means a mental institution for her. Okay? I'm under no obligation to not give. You're violating my religious right and knowledge as a person to think so. Okay. Yeah. So now she's continuing on, not understanding. So you can see how the more she doesn't get it, the more my text is involving. Okay, so again, she needs to stop and let me teach her. She needs to read and understand and obey. Because she's not doing that, my text is de-evolving. Okay. Okay. I want you to see that right there. You see, I want you to look at her text. First off, freeze frame if you need to. You see how she says, I want a yes or no? Do you see that little line in there? Let me see. I get closer. Look for the yes or no. Look for the yes or no, right? So she wants a yes or no, right? You know what we call that in David's educated land, not your little ho-humville? We call that a binary code, which means one. It's like how computers work. Every computer file, probably what you're seeing right now, boils down to a bunch of ones and zeros. 1 equals yes, 0 equals no, or whatever. When she asks for a yes or no, she wants my giving to her to be a binary code. Either I give to her and I'm a great man, or I don't give to her and I'm a shitty man. And she doesn't care what goes into that, why I do or don't. She just says, oh, someone who gives me money is a great man. Someone who doesn't is a shitty man. And that's all there is to it. So, because David sticks with this person and decides that he's not going to even tell her about his new situation now, until she understands what she needs to know that she's not getting. She's not even getting talked about how much money I could or could not have to give her, what she needs or doesn't need. Until she understands this, then we negotiate terms on how to meet in person maybe, and prove stuff, and meet the people she's staying with, make sure they're not taking advantage of her and such, right? That's what I'm giving you a little preview of what we're going to discuss, Samantha. So, Again, she has to be lectured. If I didn't lecture her, then if you're in law enforcement and you see this and you want to blame the victim, then you can say, okay, you didn't lecture her, you just answered her yes or no with the money or no money, so that's more at fault. But because David does the job that you all don't want to do by sticking with the person, not giving up on him, investigating, making sure that if you give him money, it's because of promises that are made and lessons they need to learn, and you cross-examine them, if they still know that you're a good person and you're suffering because of them, and they're made aware of it, and they still say stuff that they act shady on once that you give them the money, that's a crime. That's a scam. It's a financial crime. And if you're a cop in Ho-Humville, California, and you don't recognize that, well, that's why you're not me. You're a ho-hum, and David's not. This is not his town. This is not where he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be in the kind of place where he can go into an office, financial crimes unit, and say, hey, that's a crime. Of course, because we're not in ho-hum land anymore. Hayward is ho-humville. That's where they expect people to be disadvantaged based on whatever the offices, the powers that be are willing to do something about. Okay? I don't give a crap how many or little people come to you with this concern. If one person comes to you with a financial crime that in another place in the country or another city across the bay they would consider a legit crime, you adjust for that person. You figure you have a privileged person in your presence that has the talents to deserve being in a better place, but he can't physically get here because he's being dragged down by your type, the ho-hums. Yeah, the whole fucking hums who won't come to his defenses when a clear scam is going on, when he's doing investigative work more than your best ever can or ever do. Okay? If that weren't the case, then we wouldn't be having issues. We wouldn't be having issues making a report and saying, hey, let's do something about this person. Either they cooperate or get them mentally looked at. This person. This is a scam. She's not intending to, but it's playing out that way, okay? The fact that I'm in nowhere, California, land of the ho-hums, and they're not set up to deal with this other than to give false solutions, as they've done so far, is a problem, okay? We will cover this when we deal with system abuse, okay? So, okay. So she's saying, I'm laying it out for her. She says that she understands I'm not bad because I don't have money. Here's the thing. If you act like it, you bring up what you just brought up, you're still doing it, okay? The way it works is I don't want to hear about what kind of man you want in relation to money. If you know that I don't have none right now, it takes time to get some, and you're responsible, and I need mental peace from you to even stand a chance, okay? The more you tell me about what kind of man you want and relate it to money, the more you're putting me down anyways, because that's what you're doing. It don't matter what you say. You can say you know I'm a good guy, but if you keep doing that out of the blue, that's shooting horse tranquilizer into my leg when I'm trying to do something good for you. Okay? And I'm telling her exactly that. I'm telling her exactly. You can freeze frame that and read it. Okay. There you go. Just freeze frame all this and read it. Okay. Okay. You can freeze frame all this and read it. I'm not going to. I'm doing a way more impassioned rant, a better thing. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to show all this. Yeah, we're going to show all this. We're going to show the de-evolution of my ability to communicate because she's doing this scam-like shit and doesn't realize what she's doing. You don't do that to a guy because of something that you did. You're taking a person who you disabled because of your misconduct at work. I'm making sure there's no sensitive info. Yeah. We're showing all this. We're showing all of it. This is what happens when the Project-Mundo shoots horse tranquilizer in your ass. Okay. See, right there, she's saying that she can't read the messages. There are too many. Well, the way you stop that is you don't do that shit in the first place. and I won't have to lecture you. I showed her what she said, so she has no excuse. Okay, now see that? Yeah, so, wait, hold on. Okay. See how she says yeah, so? Okay, that was her responding to what I showed her she said. She doesn't understand it because she didn't read the messages. That's why we're on video right now, explaining it to the world and making it a point. There's a video. That's the last video. I told her to watch that. Like, I'm going to tell her to watch this one. Okay, now I'm cooled off a little bit, and I'm telling her how it is. I'm cooled off a little bit, and I'm explaining how it is. I'm telling her, you can't do this, because if you do this, it's going to destroy us both long term. And you see how she says, is that a no? She wants a yes, no. If I gave her money just because she says yes or no, the law is going to blame me, as I now know. If it's a binary code she's expecting me to act on, and here she says, give me a yes, no, money or no money. If I go to the law, say I've been scammed, they're going to say exactly what they tried to say to me. They're going to say, oh, you willingly gave it. Well, if I say, if I answer yes, no with money, then they're right. But if I show them now, as I'm showing them, what it's like to deal with the Project-Mundo in depth, and she still don't get what she's doing very real to this guy, then I have right to say it's a crime, and you ho-hum cops are treating a guy who deserves better treatment worse for being better at doing your job, which is investigating. Sometimes, as I've learned with Samantha's predecessor, unfortunately, the only way to find out what's actually going on is sticking with them. Now, because Samantha is provable, it's justified. That's how David's different in the year 2022, okay? You don't tell me not to be a good person and give to someone in need, especially when I recognize that I'm the only person who can help her because I've been through unique stuff that all the people around her won't be able to teach her. Okay, look at this. She says, is that a no? Is that a no? Oh, I'm really going through something right now. Oh, I bet you're really going through something. You know what it's not it's not measuring up to? It's not measuring up to what you're putting me through. Yes. No matter what you're going through, I'm guessing it's probably discomfort. It's probably like hurt pride. A lot of the others, when I cross-examined her when she was stuck in Mexico, it was bullshit. It was hurt pride. It was hurt feelings. It was, oh, I'm uncomfortable. All this feeling nonsense, this mumbo-jumbo that doesn't make a difference. Hey, guess what? Do you know, Samantha, do you know what it's like to run around every day getting you money or doing something for you, even working, and being Marty McFly from Back to the Future, where every last thing you do, every last little detail, every little thing mistake you make could change the ripples of time, who people marry, who people have kids with, everyone's financial situation, the charity video making I want to do, my lifelong dream, everything is on the line with everybody's future, and not just me, everybody who she marries and have kids with, how she gets out of her jobs or not, whether she stays as a ho-hum or becomes, famous and a goddess and shit, and knows how to be an example. Every last little thing that David Vega does, running around every day, the whole world and everyone's future. Do you know what it's like to be that way? No, that's how I've lived since September of 2021, when a certain thing happened involving Jennifer and the system that I won't explain, okay? I realized I had to live a life of amateur philanthropy and try to become a professional philanthropist. Because if I don't do that, the system is going to do exactly what they did when I tried to report your ass. They're going to apply stereotype because they're not giving credit for what David's trying to do to help people, that he has to do now, okay? A year or more of that, of being Marty McFly from Back to the Future, and you're going to say that you're going through something and you can't listen to me? I don't think so. That's why we're throwing down and making a video, okay? Oh, she bothered me on the toilet, no less. I told her I'm going to go wake up and deal with the video, do video. Look at that. I'm on the freaking toilet. Yep. And this is the last thing we said. Wait, hold on. Okay, so that's where we left off. I'm showing everything. I'm letting you all know. That's what it's like dealing with somebody like that. Now, again, because I did not operate according to her request for a binary code, yes or no give money, and I realized that no matter what I do, she's going to get the wrong idea of what a good guy is, and blame me for stuff that she caused and I'm not in control of. We can't do that. Every single time I cross-examined. You know what we're going to have to do right now? Here's what we're going to have to do. Not only am I going to have to, unless she gets her act together really quickly, I'm going to have to shut her out and work on that damn video so y'all can understand some things about David. Okay? Maybe clear him of some shit, right? You'll get that when you see it. This is what it's like to teach the Project-Mundo, okay? I made a video about this called The Plight of the Project-Mundo. I sung a song and analogized it to tonsil trouble. Watch that video. That video, all green shirt stuff, was shot before she came back into my life. I outlined what the Project-Mundo does. The key feature is they hurt the teacher for teaching them, okay? They could learn or could not. But regardless of how successful they are, the teacher can get his life destroyed if he's not careful. Okay? That's what we're dealing with. Watch that video. I made that before she came back. It was directed towards her. Then she came back, and we're now in a situation where I'm trying to teach her and trying to help her, and she's doing exactly what I said there before she came back. She is acting like a textbook Project-Mundo. And because money is involved, and because I did not give on a binary code, yes or no, and cross-examined her the whole time, made sure she learned stuff, made promises, I operate based on, I didn't ask her to have feelings for me, but I naturally showed what I do as a good guy, and she naturally felt connected to that, hearted a lot of it, responded, loved it, approved it. The feelings were real and natural, but I made sure she got to own up to those feelings before I pay anything, because I'm not having her deny it, right? That's why we making videos, right? Again, her predecessor taught me everything. Like, again, this is so accurate. Once Samantha is a lot like Sidney Crosby in a whole lot of ways. Here's one of them. Because David, no matter what the system wants to believe, believes and shows the very real results of once being on the ice with Wayne Gretzky as an Oiler, because David knows what it's like to be on the ice with Wayne Gretzky, in metaphor terms, he knows Sidney Crosby's every last move. He shuts her down before she does something stupid. It's eerie how similar they are. Sidney Crosby is easy to handle, whether for or against, on the ice, once you've skated both with and against the great one, Wayne Gretzky. That's how I know so much about how to treat her. That's why we're not hanging with her. We're not working through this shit. We're not shutting her out like the cops want. We're hanging with her, and we're using David's knowledge that the system previous... You're going to see this in the video I'm working on. There's a Bible quote. I don't know where it is, but it's in the video. It's two verses, the same story. The stone that the builders rejected is now the chief cornerstone of something, right? That means that if something was formerly useless, even if the system, the legal and medical system, declared it useless, if it becomes useful in this day and age, you can apply that Bible quote saying, hey, system, this thing that you said was useless earlier, this whole thing with Samantha's predecessor, if I can make positive use of it for someone who needs me today, I reserve the right to take that opportunity and to teach her not to do the same shit, right? Regardless of how it was taken. Okay? You can't put a stop to that. You know why? Again, religious persecution is what it would be. It's in our nation's constitution. If I can see a way to apply religion, or as I say, good person principles, which also just happen to correspond with religion, for the betterment of the person and make use of it, you can't take any action against that. Also, you will see also in the video, the parable of the talents, where I'm not going to go over it, it's a big long one. You can't waste your talents. You can't bury them in the ground and be the unfaithful servant. Like again, if you operate according to the system, like the Ho-Humville cops in Hayward, and you just blocked her everywhere and didn't help her even though you know you could, that's the parable. That's the unfaithful servant who buries his talent in the ground, and Jesus reprimands him and says, go to hell, right? Give your talents to the guy who was given 10 talents and made 10 more. I'm the guy who, no matter how much or little I'm given, right now it's 1 talent. I'm not burying that shit. I'm making more of it. And you can't tell me not to, because then I'll bring up freedom of religion. It's a Bible story. It does not impose anything on anyone else's life. It's my right to give, to help someone if I'm in unique position to. You can't stop me from giving to people when I'm uniquely talented to do so. Yes, there's no infringement on other people's rights. Who's contacting who? Question, who's contacting who? Where are we at? Where are we at? Samantha, where the fuck? Let's go back. Who, pray tell, to use a Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air word, who's fucking, get back. Yeah. Come on, get back. All right. Well, here's her. Who's contacting who after she said I'll never hear from her again? Huh? That's her saying she'll do whatever I want, but she needs whatever the hell she says on here. She has needs, right? She contacted me, said, are we going to stop talking now? I think I made the last video. So, and also, even if she wasn't, apparently now I'm going to have to put censored copies, identity censored copies, meaning no phone numbers, no addresses and such, right? I'm going to have to make public proof of all the payment records and all the notes I left, each one that represents an agreement. When she accepts payment based on the notes I left, she agrees to whatever's in the note. I'm going to make a separate video, just the payment records from start to finish, all the payment records. I have to count them up anyways, and all the confessions that she's ever mentioned Alfonso made the report for her. And a report exists. Anything involving the report, all the confessions, all the payment records, that's coming after the video's done at some point. So, the tape's running out. I don't want to go on to another one. I was going to out Jacob for what he did involving those 2 reports regarding Maria. That makes it a very real thing that I must deal with this live on camera. I'm going to spare him his image his reputation execution for a while, because I really don't want to. Erica did correct him, so I kind of don't want to devalue that. But again, if Samantha keeps doing this bullshit, people are going to have to be dealt with for what they did to show it's a very real danger. It's no accident. An appeals judge at EDD gave me credit for a week I used Samantha text and video. That's because she recognized the importance of my reputation over that. Yes. So it's publicly relevant. You're going to cooperate with the guy who needs to do good. My charity plan is in the male Karen video pretty early in. It's outlined in comments to a Hootie and the Blowfish comment. Read that. That's David's life goal. It's not changing. Stop attacking it. Okay? God, the tape's going to run out. I'm going to just stop here. Samantha, cooperate. Understand what I just said. You don't want to read in text? Watch in video with the rest of the world. Then we get back on track. Wait for me to get done with my proofreading. Once that's done, we talk about getting this back on track. Holy shit. I did good. That wasn't what I planned, but I did good. I didn't go everywhere I planned, but I did all right. The tape's going to end. Who cares? If you learn nothing from this video, learn the importance of this, okay? This is a good product. I'm not going to run around with Wild Goose Chase trying to find one just like it. Instead, I'll just cover this up if it's a problem, okay? Holy shit. Very practical. If you learn if you learn nothing from this video, learn that. I swear to God. I know. You didn't want me to market you on an angry rant. I get it. You would rather just all positive marketing. But hey, the world is how it is. If they don't get the use of that bottle, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to market it this way as a part of an angry rant. That's great. Yeah, get David going ape shit for a cause and showing how your product's a solution. It's not typical marketing, but hey, it works. That's great. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I don't want to mention their name because they don't want me to do. Oh my God. That's an antagonist, by the way. Firestarter type. When someone antagonizes you, it fits the description. They don't want policy violations at work. We agree on that. I have the solution. They don't understand the solution. That's antagonism. No ideological differences, just different way of showing the same thing. David can do better than your stupid ass. There's a stupid ass out there who knows who I'm talking about, but yeah. That's a perfect example of antagonism. That's how it works when it's right. Not when Samantha's shooting horse tranquilizer in my ass, when I'm trying to work for her. Holy fuck. That's great. I did not plan that shit. I didn't plan none of this shit. If I planned this shit, I would have had a mirror to show the camera that almost got dumped on. Oh my God. Let's just get Moo. She's looking all cute and shit. Where's it? Moo. Oh, how much time? Oh, we got 30 seconds. Hi, Moo. Moo. It's gonna